Job 20:6. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds. He got this space station in the clouds. Say, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever. Like his own dung, like what you flush down the toilet, your feces that you flush down the toilet. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Like we just read. Where'd he go? Where is he? Isaiah 14:13. Isaiah 14:13. What thou hast said in thine heart. This is what they've said in their mind. Because the heart is the mind, the way they think. I will ascend into heaven. Hear that? I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. So, look at Genesis 37. And we're going to read about these stars of the Most High. Genesis 37. And we're going to start at verse, let me see, Genesis 37. And let's start at verse 2. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. So, our forefather Jacob, he had 4 wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children. He was that special one that he really loved, more than all the rest of the children. Because he was the son of his old age, And he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him. So his brothers hated Joseph, and could not speak peaceably unto him. Treating him bad, talking to him bad, talking down to him. Because Jacob loved Joseph. Because he had him in his old age. And Joseph dreamed a dream. Here we go about these stars of the Most High. It says, and Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. He told his dream to his brethren. He just being, trying to be a cool brother with him. And they hated him more for telling him the dream. And he said unto them, hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose, and also stood upright. And behold, your sheaves stood round about, and made obeisance to my sheep. So he let them know, hey, my sheep stood up, and all of your sheaves made obedience to me, which is a dream that came true because Joseph, they sold Joseph, and he became a leader right under Pharaoh in Egypt. And they had to come and actually fulfill what it's saying here. Bowing down to Joseph, not knowing that that's their brother that they sold to the Arabs. They the ones started this slavery, and they sold him to the Egyptians. And his brethren said to him, shalt thou indeed reign over us? Yes. Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? Yes. And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words, the words of his dreams. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren, and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. That's dealing with his father, his mother, and his 11 stars, representing his brothers, the Israelites. And he told it to his father and to his brethren, and his father rebuked him and said unto him, What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee to the earth? Yes. When the famine came, they had to go and fulfill what this dream says. But you see, there are 11 stars that's going to make obedience to Joseph. Verse 11, and his brethren envied him, but his father observed the saying. His father observed what he had said. You see? So, when you look at Isaiah 14 and 13, it says, For thou hast said in thine heart, that's what Esau have said, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of heaven. Literally, you have a space station out there, have these little space shuttles that go, and all these nations are joined together for that, prepared to fight h.o.d.c. That's what they're doing. That's their whole makeup. It's the fight of h.o.d.c. and the angels. As he come back to judge and make war. But we know the result going to be. We're going to hear the result. If you don't know, you're going to know. It says, Isaiah 14 and 13, For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of heaven, stars of the Most High. I will set also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Look at 1 Corinthians 3:16. 1 Corinthians 3:16. The side of the congregation and the sides of the north. Where we at now? We in North America. And this is where the awakening has happened to awaken the majority of the people of the world right here in this Western Hemisphere. 1 Corinthians 3:16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you? So we the temple of the Most High. The congregation that's in the north, we the temple of the Most High. And they're sitting in the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, it says. You see that? Obadiah 3. Obadiah the 3rd verse and the 4th verse. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Talking about Edom. Thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, giving a clear indication of what people he's talking about. Caucasian, meaning Caucasoid or subspecies of mankind they live between the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea in South Georgia, Russia, in the Caucasus Mountains, why they call themselves Caucasian, in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high. That says in thine heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? So they say, hey, that's pride. Who gonna bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, that's their symbol. The eagle, the bald eagle. You see it on the post office. They have it all in the churches. Their flag, the top of their flag. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars. That's this reading. Thence will I bring thee down, said the Most High. So he says he's going to do it. Once they do this, he said, I'm going to bring you down. Go back to Job, 20th chapter. Like I said, every nation had a certain dispensation of time to rule. This time for a righteous kingdom to come on this earth. Job 20 and 7. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. Dung is doo-doo, crap. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Where'd he go? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yeah, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. He's going to be chased away as a vision of the night. Go to Isaiah 14 and 4. Isaiah 14 and 4. Prophecy. Isaiah 14 and 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Most High have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, the powers and authority of the rulers. So he's bringing them down. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. So they killing us and the verdict is not guilty now. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hinder it. Nobody gonna stop it. Ruling the nations in anger. Remember it said, he gave us to the most wicked in all the world and to an unjust king. Isaiah 13 and 19. In Babylon, America, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It's going to be just like when the Most High destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited. Hear that? Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Nobody ever going to live here. Ever. As it is written. Isaiah 13 and 6. Howl ye, for the day of the Most High is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. h.o.d.c. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. Everybody's mind gonna melt. And they shall be afraid. Plagues and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They're going to be in pain like a woman having them contractions for the baby to come forth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. They're going to be red as red could be. Behold, the day of the Most High cometh. The day of h.o.d.c cometh. Cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. All you that say you ain't got to follow the Most High's laws, he's going to destroy all of you out of the land. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. Going to be so much destruction in the air, you ain't going to be able to see no light from the constellations in the sky. The sun shall be darkened, meaning it's going to be so much soot in the air and destruction, you ain't going to see the sun. It is going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine, because you're going to be darkened out behind all the destruction that's going to be happening. Thus say the Most High. And I will punish the world for their evil. Hear that? He's going to punish the world for their evil. You don't want to follow the commandments of the Most High and do what's right? He said he's going to punish you for your evil. And the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy, the pridefulness of the proud to cease. And will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. You hear what he say? He's going to lay low for you. For your prideful self. Being so terrible. Thus said the Most High. That's what the word is saying. Look at verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place. So he's going to shake the heavens, and the earth will remove out of her place in the wrath of the Most High power of hosts, power of armies, angels, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chase roe, going to be as a chased deer, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. Ain't nobody going to want to be bothered with them. In this day, they shall every man turn to his own people and flee every one into his own land. And where we going, Israel? We don't have a land to flee into. We just want to see this. If you're in the spirit to understand from what it's saying, you don't want to be involved in it. You just want to see it. He said, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place. You know, we in space right now. So we're going to move out of the place where we're in. We're going to be moving. in the wrath of the Most High, Mashiach, power of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. It shall be as a chase road, they're gonna be like a chased deer, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people. Chinese gonna turn to Chinese, Japanese to Japanese, Arabs to Arabs, and so forth, and flee everyone into his own land. They're gonna go to their own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Everyone that's found gonna be killed. And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. But Mashiach coming back to separate the sheep from the goats. So you join unto them, you're gonna fall by the sword too, as it is written. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through in this day, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. You join unto them, you're going to fall by the sword. You're going to be put to death. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes, because our children were dashed to pieces before our eyes. Their children are going to be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, meaning houses are going to be robbed. And their wives ravished, meaning wives going to be raped. I doubt if Israel going to be doing this because it's against the law for us to do that. So other nations are going to be doing whatever they do. Because you're going to have every nation hand against each other. Thus say the Most High. I mean, it happened to us. That's why he's so afraid of how this is going to go down and what's going to happen. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Ain't no way they're going to be able to pay anything to get out of this. The Medes are like the Japhetic people. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. It's the missiles right now. It's going to dash the young men to pieces. And the young men are the one that goes to war. And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Meaning anyone that's pregnant, the woman that's pregnant, they got no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. But you know they're not going to spare children during this day. Prophecy. Go to Isaiah 14 and 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. How has America brought out of power? How has she ceased to be? No more. The Most High have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Remember, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted. Now that's payback. And none hinder it. Nobody can stop it. No one can stop it. Zechariah 14 and 12. It's just many scriptures pertaining to the end time that we can go into. Just what's going to happen. Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Most High, Mashiach, will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. All the people that have fought against the 12 tribes of Israel. Their flesh, what does this sound like? Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Sound like nuclear destruction to me. I can think of that lady that was on that fence when that nuclear bomb hit and terminated her, and she just melted away. He's saying, it shall come to pass in that day that a great turmoil, a great uprising from the Most High shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor. See that? Gonna be fighting. And his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. Then you know. So I say we're going to own all their possessions. Obadiah the 17th chapter, 17th verse. But there's only 21 verses in Obadiah, and it's speaking concerning Edom. Ezekiel 39. The book of Ezekiel 39. And we're going to start at verse 6. Great chapter. Let's see. It says, "And I will send a fire on Magog, and among them that dwell carelessly in the islands. And they shall know that I am the Most High." So he's going to send a fire on Russia. "So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people." We know he's going to make his holy name known in the midst of the 12 tribes of Israel. My people Israel. See? "And I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore," meaning being wicked and sinning against the Most High. "And the heathen shall know that I am the Most High, the Holy One of Israel." Not the Holy One of anyone else, but the Holy One of Israel. The heathen going to know this. "Behold, it is come, and it is done, said the Most High Power. This is the day whereof I have spoken." This is the day that he's speaking of. "And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, and the hand staves, and thy spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years." Burning all the ordinances, all the weapons of war for 7 years. "So that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forest, and they shall burn the weapons with fire. And they shall spoil those that spoiled them." Once again, you see the same thing over and over again. Ezekiel letting us know. I mean, you're going to rob them that robbed us, and rob those that robbed them, said the Most High Power. See? "And it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto Gog a place there of graves in Israel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea. And it shall stop the noses of the passengers, and there shall they bury Gog and all his multitude. And they shall call it the valley of Hamon-Gog." He's going to put hooks in their jaws to have them do what he wants to do, the Russians. And all many nations are going to be joined with them. But he's going to make an end of them. Once he do what he says he's going to do. Verse 12, "And 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them." It'll take 7 months to bury them. That multitude. "That they may cleanse the land." Got to bury them to clean the land up. "Yeah, all the people of the land shall bury them. And it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified, said the Most High Power. And they shall sever out men of continual employment." So we're going to cut out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth. So we're going to be hiring those men that's going to be burying these bodies, those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it, to clean up the land. "After the end of 7 months shall they search." After the end of 7 months, we're going to be looking for them. "All the passengers that pass through the land, when any seeth a man's bones," you find a man's bones, "then shall he set up a sign by it," set a sign by that bone, "till the buriers have buried it in the valley of Hamon-Gog." You set a mark, let them know it's a bone right here. They come, they get the bone, And they go to bury it in Hamon-Gog. And also the name of the city shall be Hamanah. Thus shall they cleanse the land. They're going to clean the land up from all the dead bodies that's going to be there. That's what it's talking about. And thou, son of man, thus said the Most High Power, speak unto every feathered fowl, speak unto the birds, and to every beast of the field, and to the animals, assemble yourselves, and come gather together, one every side to my sacrifice that I do sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that ye may eat flesh and drink blood. You got the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field come, and they're going to eat flesh and drink blood. You shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, of bullocks, all of them, fatlings of Bashan. And ye shall eat fat till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken, of my sacrifice which I have sacrificed for you. Thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men, and with all men of war, saith the Most High Power. And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them. So the house of Israel shall know that I am the Most High their power from that day and forward. You'll always know. From seeing this, the fowls and the all the beasts eating up all these people, so we gonna know that the Most High is our power from that day and forward. Look at Revelation 19 and 19. You imagine that? No, you probably can't imagine it. You got to think about it. Meditate on that. Revelation 19 and 19. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse. Who is that? Verse 11, I saw heaven and earth. He said, I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, which is pure righteous power, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he does judge and make war, as I've been saying. This is Mashiach Yahushua. He's going to look at Isaiah, hold that, get Isaiah 47 and 3. That you know he's not coming back as no man. Come back in his angelic power. Isaiah 47 and 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, meaning all the wickedness that Esau has done going to be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So he comes back as no man. He comes back in his angelic power. He hanging out with Michael, the archangel of war, ready to what? Judge and make war in righteousness. And we know that righteousness is the keeping of the laws of the Most High. His eyes was a flame of fire, verse 12 of Revelation 19th chapter. And on his head were many crowns. Man, he's coming to rule, powers and authority. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of the Most High. And when you go into the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, it says Edom figures prominently as a scene of great future judgment. She's the only neighbor of the Israelites not given any promise of mercy, and they give scriptures. We're going to go over those scriptures as they gave it. It says, verse 13, and he was clothed with a vesture. His clothing, his garment dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of the Most High. And the armies, or the angels, which were in heaven, followed him upon white horses, righteous power, clothed in fine linen. So the angels have fine linen, white and clean, white linen garments. And out of his mouth goes a sharp sword. What are you going to do with this sharp sword that come out of his mouth, that with it he should smite the nations or kill the nations? And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of almighty power. So when you look at the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it gave scriptures to back up what they said concerning Edom. Said Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as a scene of great future judgment. She's the only neighbor of the Israelites that's not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. They gave Isaiah 34 and 5. Let's look at it. Isaiah 35, 4, 5, and 6. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. And understand there's three heavens. The powers and authority on the earth, the ozone layer, the sky, the firmament, and the fourth dimension where the Most High dwells, and the angels. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Look up Idumea in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It says, Idumea is Edom, Rome, representing the so-called Caucasian people. It shall come down upon Idumea. These are scriptures that they gave. Zondervan Dictionary. And upon the people of my curse to judgment. People of his curse, that curse that he gave them is leprosy, which is, they're clean lepers because they have so-called white skin or red skin. It says, the sword of the Most High. And mind you, this is what they gave us to look at, to observe concerning Edom. It says, the sword of the Most High is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Most High has a sacrifice in Basra. Basra is the capital city of the Edomites. And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. That's dealing with Edom, Rome. So now, they also gave Isaiah the 63rd chapter. Because remember what it said in Revelation 11 and 15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of almighty power, right? Verse 13 says, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. Okay, so we're going to find out why his garment is dipped in blood, as they gave the scriptures to go to in Isaiah 63rd chapter. Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. h.o.d.c, traveling in the greatness of his strength, the Most High. I that speak in righteousness. Righteousness, remember he come to judge and make war, a righteous judgment. I that speak in righteousness, keeping the laws of the Most High, mighty to save someone. The 12 tribes of Israel, 1/3, mind you. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel? So why are your clothes red? And thy garment like him that tread up in the winepress, like somebody stomping on grapes. And all the juice of the grapes will be splashed on your clothes. I have trodden the winepress alone, my second Shai saying. And of the people there was none with me. So ain't no people gonna be with me. For I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury. And their blood, listen to what it says, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, day of vengeance is mine, and the year of my redeemed is come. The year that he's going to redeem the 12 tribes of Israel is come. See, I looked and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. He said, and I will tread down the people. So you don't get it twisted. And he talking about no goats and no lambs. He said, I will tread down the people in the day of his vengeance. He said, and I will tread down the people in mine anger and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. Their strength is what? The Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force. Go to 2nd Ezra 13 and 9. Second Ezra 13 and 9. Because all the armies, the navies, the marines, the air forces gonna come together to fight on Mashiach Yahushua. Just a result. Second Ezra 13 and 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, he gonna smite or kill the nations with this sharp sword that cometh forth out of his mouth. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips, remember, he ain't coming as he meet him as a man, out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one, so that upon a sudden of innumerable multitude, you hear that? That Army, Navy, and Marines and Air Force going to be so many men, and now they have women. He said that they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one. Hear that? Burned them up, every one, so that upon a sudden of innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. When you see that, it's frightened. My man Ezra, he was like, oh, seeing this, I mean, you can imagine the multitude of men that he's seen coming to fight Mashiach Yahushua. He said, whoa. Look at 2 Ezra 13 and 29. It says, behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. So it's going to be Israelites that will be on the earth that the Most High is going to deliver or save from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. Remember they say it's going to be amazed at the strangers of our salvation. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared. When they start fighting amongst each other, then the Mashiach is going to be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. When was that? Acts 1 and 9. Acts the first chapter, the 9th verse. As you saw, man, to show you that this is all together. Acts 1 and 9. Acts the first chapter, the 9th verse. And when he has spoken these things, when the Mashiach has spoke to the apostles, telling them they're going to receive spiritual power once that they will receive the Holy Spirit. While they beheld, he was taken up. So he was taken up. And a cloud received him out of their sight. So this is what he's talking about here in 2 Ezra 13. Verse 32, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. We just seen it in Acts the first chapter, the 9th verse. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land lead the battle they have one against another. So every man going to lead the battle that they have one against another. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together. This is what their promise is. Now, United Nations, all prepared to fight on Mashiach Yahushua. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. So they're going to be afraid, but yet does fight. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion, and Zion shall come. The 12 tribes of Israel are going to come. And shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands, because it's not a hill. It represents the 12 tribes of Israel. And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations. But he going to smite the nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest. Their wicked life are fallen into the hell fire that the Mashiach is going to bring upon them. And shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torment wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame burning them up. And he shall destroy them without labor by the law. He going to be destroying them. The law going to be coming out of his mouth, speaking the law, which is like unto fire. Jeremiah 23 and 29. The law which is just like fire. Jeremiah 23 and 29. Is not my word like as a fire, said the Most High, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? That's what the Most High, that's what he's going to be doing. He's going to sit on my Sheikh Shai, and he's going to be saying, thou shalt not kill, murder, killing people. Thou shalt not steal, you stole everything, killing people. That's why I look at St. John 10 and 10. St. John 10 and 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. That's my Mashiach Yahushua. But the thief come to do what? To steal, kill, and destroy. That's why he told us in verse 1, verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, say John 10 and 1. He that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, trying to go some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. A thief and a robber trying to find some other way to make it when it's already laid out. They should be learning from the men in these last days that's bringing forth these prophecies. Because it's going down. Whether you can accept it or not, it's going down. You can see it all manifesting before us. 2 Peter 3 and 10. 2 Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, will come as a thief in the night. You ain't gonna know, you don't know when a thief coming. Gonna come like a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, you're going to dissolve everything. What manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation and righteousness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with